Thank you, Jonathan. I appreciate it. Jonathan and I go back that 16 years, and I love his heart. I love how he cares for you, for Chapel Point and the ministry here. And I've come to love and enjoy coming to Chapel Point, meeting the residents. I met two recent residents this morning and a third one yet after this seminar. And it's great to come into your homes, sit with you, talk, get to know you, and I'm happy to do that. Please call on me for whatever reason relative to this end-of-life planning, which is generally what I talk about. Legacy planning is another term. But today we're going to talk about one component of that called a charitable gift annuity. And does it fit? And why would you do it? And so let's go into the slides. I've been here 16 years, coming usually once a week now this year, and since COVID, we've pared that back to a few times a year, just letting the residents know, hey, I'm available to you by phone, by Zoom, and I can come to Carlisle. I'm only an hour away, so I can come. I am a CPA, so I have that financial background. I've been in banking 19 years, served there, church leader. The stuff is on the board there, Gideon. Probably part of my life that helps me connect with the folks here at Chapel Point is just the trials that my wife and I have gone through. She had terminal illness at one time. She's still with us, so she did not go home to be with the Lord. And just many things you can see there, again, on your screen that she's been through. And it just helps me relate, connect with folks that I know life. And it does throw things at us sometimes we're not necessarily ready for. And when we talk about this charitable gift annuity, that actually can help take a few pieces off the plate of worry and stress. Because my goal is to help God's people honor Him with what He's provided to you. God's resources, how do we use them to bless the kingdom work? Orchard Alliance, which is who I have worked for these 16 years, is part of the Christian Missionary Alliance, as Chapel Point is a ministry of the Christian and Missionary Alliance. So our agenda, what is charitable gift annuity? How, why, who? We're going to go into those questions now. So here we go. What is a charitable gift annuity? It's simple. It's easy. That should resonate with everybody, right? But you need $10,000 to position your funds into this charitable gift annuity, and you need to be 65 years and older. The charitable gift annuity provides steady and attractive income, partially tax-free. So that income as it comes in is partially not going to be taxed. You'll receive this payment from this annuity for the rest of your life or 2 lives. Your life, if you're a single person, 2 lives if you want to take it over a couple. You get a tax deduction. With the laws that they are, the tax laws, many people cannot itemize, but if you can, depending on the size of the charitable gift annuity, you may get an extra cash benefit on your tax return. And then what the charitable gift annuity does, and the reason it's called a charitable gift annuity, is whatever's left in this annuity goes to your charities. Chapel Point, for instance, to advance the work here of Chapel Point and help others on a benevolent basis or whatever it be, your local church, whatever ministry you want to support, or multiple ministries. We're going to talk about those details in a moment. So the charitable gift annuity continued. You can get the payments in whatever periodic time frame you want. Get it right to your bank account so you don't need to deal with a check. And this annuity is a promise. So it's a contract between Orchard Alliance and you. The contract says we will pay you so much for the rest of your life based on the amount you put into this charitable gift annuity. And all our assets of Orchard Alliance will back that promise. So it's a contract with a promise. Okay. So continuing on the question, what is a charitable gift annuity? Where does this payment come from and how is it calculated? So if you're an age 81 person on the left side of your screen, I trust, 81, you get an 8.3% payout rate. 8.3% if you're age 81. If you're a couple and one is 81, the other one is age 83, it would be a 7.3% payout. Why the difference in rates? As you look at those ages, you see the difference in rates. The rate is set at the age you take it out. So if you're 81 at the time you put $10,000 into a charitable gift annuity, you'll get an 8.3% payout for the rest of your life if you're a single person, okay? So it's based on age. So let's continue now. Let's go into the question, how does it work? So we understand what that payout rate means and so forth. So here we have John and Carol, and to my knowledge, we don't have a John and Carol on campus, but John is 83, Carol's 78, and they decide to create a $30,000 charitable gift annuity, okay? $30,000, that means they have other cash, other liquid assets. It's not all their money. We don't want to do that, but it's a portion of their assets. And based on their age, they get 7%. So let's go back to the chart. I don't have any one of those ages on there, but as you understand, theirs was 7%. So on the couple side, you see age 79 and 82, their payout is 7%. They're 83 and 78, so they're close to that, and it actually works out to be 7%. So 7% times 30,000 is $2,100. They will get a $2,100 payment for the rest of their lives. No matter if one passes, it keeps going for the survivor and keeps going until that survivor passes away. $2,100 for the rest of their lives. If they can itemize deductions, the next bullet says they'll receive a tax deduction of nearly $12,000, which could save them a few $100s or even more off their tax return. Part of that $2,100 annual payment is tax-free, so not all the $2,100 gets put on their tax return. Only a percent of it, in this case 29%, gets put on their tax return, which gives it an effective rate, a tax-effective rate, we call that 9.2%. So if you're going down to the bank and saying, what's your CD rates for 9 months? And it says 5%. That's 5% plus it's going to go in your tax return. You're going to pay tax on it, so you're going to have less than 5%, right? Here, 9.2% would be comparable to that 5%. So you can see the yield on that, or the return on that, however you want to term it. So here we are. How it works. We're continuing that part of our question. Steady income leaves a gift to charity. Okay? Steady income to you leaves a gift to charity to the remainder. So you're the couple or the single person. You put at least $10,000 into the charitable gift annuity. You get the income tax deduction back and the payments for life. When you both pass away, or if you're a single person, you pass away, go home to be with the Lord, then the remainder goes to the charity or charities, organizations you have predetermined, preset. Okay? So you can leave Chapel Point, Christian Mission Alliance, your local church, Back to the Bible, Gideon's, there's a Jesus Film Project, Life Outreach. There are organizations I'm sure you're already supporting besides Chapel Point and Chapel Point. So you can make that list however you want. And I assist people in doing that. So why? Now we're the next question. Why use a charitable gift annuity? I need more money. I don't have enough in my income stream each month to make it, so I need more money. Plus, that first bullet, I put there the words limit market volatility. This is a steady stream of cash payments back to you, and doesn't matter what's going on in the stock market. Okay? That doesn't mean you shouldn't have money in the stock market. That's another conversation. But this is not controlled or reflect any concerns or risk or anxieties that would come from the stock market. Second bullet, I need to create secure income for my spouse. When we look at your facts and circumstances of your financial situation, we'd want to know what happens when the first spouse goes home to be with the Lord. Is the surviving spouse going to be okay? Is there enough finances enough income for the surviving spouse? Enough money in the bank that can be drawn down from, or pensions and Social Security and that kind of thing? And so we sometimes design this charitable gift annuity to help the surviving spouse. Thirdly, we want to lock in a gift to charity. This is a great way to avoid probate, put money into this annuity, and carve out something that's going to go to your beloved organization, your charity. And fourthly, you want to help somebody else. And we're going to talk about those examples here. But first off, to add on to the why do a charitable gift annuity, you just will live longer. That's the statistics. People who take out a charitable gift annuity live longer. If longevity, you've got purposes for God here on earth, and you want to continue full might going forward, take out a charitable gift annuity because statistically, those folks live longer. Here's a case in point, Jewel. Here's her name. She lived to be 111. 111. She lived from President Grant to President Clinton. Now think about that a moment. Grant to Clinton, oh my word. 111. She received this gift annuity. She did not take it out, but someone took it out for her through their estate process in their will. And she was 89 when this happened. And when that happened, the payout rate for her age at 89 was 13.4%. So based on her age at the time when this was taken out, that's what the rates were then. Okay, they do change, but it's based on the age when you take it out. So think about 22 years from 89 to 111 at 13.4%. She got the money back, whoever her family member was, a sister or brother, whoever it was, got a wonderful return on that, on those funds. So, all right. That's a why. Second why. Well, let's go back to John and Carol again. 83 and 78 is their ages, and they want to increase their income. So they have, let's say, $180,000 of investments. Money's on the side, on investment that are liquid, and they're not, on a portion of that, they're not getting much return, maybe 1% in their savings account, and they got $50,000 in the savings account or something like that. And they say, okay, let's take some of that money out of that savings, let's put it into a charitable gift annuity. Our pensions, our Social Security, and so forth, we feel good about that. We can pull that money aside, put that into the charitable gift annuity, and get this 7% payout that I described earlier, okay? So the same flow chart, John and Carol put the money, $30,000, into that charitable gift annuity that flows into the CGA, and they get back this tax deduction of $11,759, nearly $12,000, with the $2,100 annual payments for life. Now, what you may not be able to see on your screen there, it says $150 increase. So by doing 7%, they're no longer getting 1%, savings account, they're getting 7%, so that might increase their monthly income $150 a month. So they're just trying to increase their income for the two of them because they want to make sure they get to Chick-fil-A more often than they have been. So this will get them there maybe 5 times more per month to Chick-fil-A. All right. Then they both pass away. The remainder goes to the remainder, which we don't know what that amount is, okay, because we don't know how long John and Carol will live. If they live very, very long, it could be a lesser amount to the charity. If they live short, after they take the annuity out, there could be more going to charity. But we estimate, based on the 7% payout, that about $15,000 of the original $30,000 will get to charity. The other $15,000, you say, what happened to that? Well, that's getting paid back to John and Carol in this period of time while they're living. So it's the payouts that they're getting each year is really split between returning the principal, returning that amount of money to them, and interest income that's coming back to them versus an amount that's being kept back towards the future to the charity. But if they live to be 110 like Jewel did, that annuity could be well depleted, and charity may end up with a much smaller amount. But the promise to John and Carol is you will get paid $2,100 for the rest of your 2 lives. Very important. Another reason, a third reason I think we're on now, deferred CGA. What is a deferred CGA? David and Julie Brown, here we go, ages 75 and 72. So they're still fairly young. They look at their financial situation and they look at their pensions and their total amount they have on investment. And they say, you know what? If David passes, his survivor pension's reduced for Julie. He doesn't have a 100% survivor pension. He only has a 50% survivor pension. Plus, for a couple, Social Security does not continue for both parties when one goes home to be with the Lord. Social Security, to my last knowledge, Uncle Sam will not send you a check to heaven. Okay? They might send it other places, I don't know. But anyway, they won't send it to heaven. So that when one of the spouse passes, the lower Social Security benefit ceases. So in Julie and David's situation, they already know one of the Social Security monthly payments will stop, and half his pension will cease for Julie. So they determined, let's put some funds aside into a deferred charitable gift annuity, and what they're really doing is saying, when David passes, if he passes first, this annuity will be turned on for its payments. We're not going to take any payments from that $60,000 charitable gift annuity until David passes, and then they will supplement Julie's income at that time because she's the one that needs it. So when they do this deferred charitable gift annuity, they receive an immediate tax deduction, which could give them, right? They could give them a little cash flow off their tax return. Now they're going to get a tax refund or something off their taxes. So it may work depending on their other itemized deductions. And assuming David passes 3 years later, her annual payment is a little over $4,000, or 6.9% of that $60,000. If David decides, hey, I'm going to live a little longer, and he passes now 6 years later when he is 81, Julie's 78, she'll get an 8.5% payout, or over $5,000. So you can see that what David is doing, and David and Julie together are doing, is we want to supplement Julie's income when I pass away, when David passes away, okay? Again, a portion of those payments are tax-free, like I discussed before. And if Julie passes first instead of David, David can say, well, then I'm going to turn on these payments anyway now for himself, or leave the money remain so the charity gets more. So it then becomes that charitable gift at the end of their two lives. Hopefully I didn't confuse you. Jonathan has these slides that you can ask him for, plus this brochure, if you can see it, that you can ask him for that discusses charitable gift annuity. So if we're raising some questions in your mind or interest, then see Jonathan and go ahead and get that information. And my phone number is going to be at the end, so we'll see that. So here's the last reason to do a charitable gift annuity on a general basis. You want to help someone else when you pass away, okay? Now, in some cases, I'm designing these for folks who have parents that are still alive. You could be that person. You could, again, for a surviving spouse that we talked about. But a testamentary charitable gift annuity means that when you pass away, it then gets created, okay? Whereas before, I've been talking about a charitable gift annuity. I come to your home, and we talk about taking out a charitable gift annuity for you or for your spouse or someone else. We do that now while you're living. This is designed in your plan to be done after you pass. Your will could set this up. I can help set this up in your will or set this up outside of your will. Most of the time I do it outside of your will. And I set up the paperwork with Orchard Alliance so that they would receive monies from your account, from your retirement account or something, that goes into a charitable gift annuity for someone else. And that someone else, again, could be a sibling, a disabled friend, disabled sister or brother, a missionary that you've supported all your life, or for many years you supported a missionary worker and you wanted to make sure that when you pass, you're creating something for that missionary or that pastor for the rest of their lives. So you're doing this for someone else's life. You're in heaven and you're paying a beloved person for the rest of their life. Think about that. That's a gift. That's why we call this, a gift that keeps on giving. This is a tremendous way of creating something that just creates that blessing on and on and on, and you're in heaven, and they're being blessed. This rate, the payout rate that I've been mentioning, that's based on that person's age, that friend, that sister or brother. It's based on their age. It doesn't impact their probate, their will. It doesn't do anything to their financial situation at all. And no one can contest this and go after it and that kind of thing. But you are locking in the charitable gift. So we're going to talk about how this works. So you're creating income for somebody else while you are setting aside a charitable gift for your charitable organizations. So here's an example. Why do a testamentary charitable gift annuity on your passing? So Jean is 84, and in April 2024, that's this month, she updates her estate plan documents to fund a testamentary charitable gift annuity for her disabled younger sister, who's age 76, 8 years younger than Jean. Alma is 8 years younger than Jean, and she's disabled. And I've been in over probably 2,000 homes. This is real, okay? The examples I shared with you, they're real. I've done them, helped people through these things, and so forth. So I've seen now probably, not every situation maybe, but a lot of them. So in June of 2026, now a little over 2 years later, Jean passes away. Now Alma is 78. So a distribution is made from Jean's estate or from her will in the amount of $50,000 into a charitable gift annuity for the benefit of Alma. The tax deduction creates a tax deduction in the estate of Jean. So in Pennsylvania, Pennsylvania likes to tax things, so there is a tax that hits on that $50,000. But because it's charitable, it's reduced. So the Pennsylvania inheritance tax is actually lower than it otherwise would have been because there's a charitable component to the gift annuity. So it's a great way to save off of the Pennsylvania inheritance tax. By the way, Pennsylvania inheritance tax, when you're leaving money to a sibling, is 12% tax. 12%. So the state is going to take 12% of the money you leave to a sister. Okay? Well, this is a way of lowering that impact. If you're leaving it to a nephew, it's 15%. To a friend, it's 15%. So Pennsylvania, one of these days, hopefully they'll see that does not make any sense. Moving down the sheet there on the chart, Alma receives 7.6% payout. So Jean created this annuity for Alma. Alma gets $3,800 for the rest of her life. And then when Alma passes, it will go to Jean's favorite charity. So in other words, she's designed this gift annuity, so it will go to purposes that she loved, God's work, Chapel Point, something like that, something that Jean loved, or multiple charities that Jean loved. The remainder in that annuity will go there. Who can help? Last question. Orchard Alliance, you can't see my shirt that I'm wearing, but I'm wearing an Orchard Alliance shirt. We provide these services to help you go through will planning, which we'll talk about in, I think, May 30th, about will planning, or should you have a trust, those kind of questions. We'll go through that. We'll look at your financial picture. We'll look at your family dynamics, your family picture, and help talk and pray with you about what makes sense in your world for your estate. Even though you probably came into Chapel Point and you had this all designed, sometimes you say, things change. People pass away, organizations change, whatever. See, let's relook at what God would have me to do with what he's placed into my hands. In other words, in my role, I help people steward what God has placed into their hands, because we are stewards. We don't own this, but we manage it. We control it for the Lord to honor him. So what I do is at no cost, no obligation. I'm not selling the product. It may seem like the charitable gift annuity is a product, but there's no commissions or anything coming back on that. Yes, there's some administrative costs that are paid within the annuity that you don't see. That happens to the charity. So at the end of a charitable gift annuity, Orchard Alliance, like any other ministry, receives something to help pay and cover the cost of administering that annuity over those years at the end. But it does not affect you who receives that payout that I mentioned. So we've been doing this for over 125 years, the Alliance and/or Orchard, since 1898, and we're here to serve you. We have at least around 500 annuities on the books now, never missed a payment on those books. And every state has rules and regulations around these annuities, and so we're in compliance with the state rules around charitable gift annuities. So I want to thank you for joining us. My name, number, email, that's on the slide there on your TV screens. Jonathan knows how to reach me as well. You can always contact Jonathan. He has the brochure and the outline, and love to hear from you that way.